Alrighty, build breakdown of the TRX4 LC70. Had a few people request this, so I figured I'd go into a little more detail about how I did it. Pretty standard Killerbody LC70 body, I guess. Did go in and do it a factory red Toyota paint. I can't remember the exact paint code on that, but it is the factory color that comes on the Land Cruisers. Got the SSD D-hole wheels here on the BFG Mud Terrain TAs. These are the, I believe they're 4.1 or 4.2 tires, not the full 4.75, 1.9 tires. It just gives me a little bit more body clearance here in the front and the rear. I did have to trim out some of the body here in the front, maybe hard to tell with the light, just to get full clearance. And when I did that, I just pulled the fender wells back a little bit, re-drilled the holes at the new locations, and then set that accordingly. I did a little bit for the rear as well. Bumpers on this, I've got the Killerbody ARB front bumper with the Light Force lights. I have not hooked those up yet, but I've got all the wiring set up ready to go in, and the interior. On the rear, I'm running a Scalar Fab metal bumper. I forget which model, but I did have to do a little bending on the sides just to get everything to line up decently well with the body lines. One of the major modifications that I had to do to get this to sit as low as it does was the rear cantilever suspension, which you can see here. And it was a bit of a pain to get set up, just between cantilever location, shock location, linkage length, everything. I had some issues where it would get locked in the down position or not reset itself. And so now I've got really good play with the spring I went with. I don't remember what spring I did end up going with. I pulled some off of an Axial, some of the TRX4 factory springs, played with preload, all kinds of stuff. It was a major tuning undertaking to get that to work properly, but in the end works out pretty good and clears the rear without having to cut into it. So the main way that I have it hooked up to the TRX4 chassis is using the Killerbody mounting points, and so you can see that a little bit here on the front where the bumper hooks up. Possibly you can see that, but in the rear I have 2 screws. In the front I have 4 screws. The bumper, you can see I only have 2 in at the moment. It holds front bumper in place. In the rear I'm able just to loosen it and then pivot the whole body forward to place the battery in and get easy access to that. So I'll show you how that goes in right now. Just reach under here. I got it on a little bit of Velcro. Just pop that in there. Plug this old girl up. And then it just rests right over that. Not too bad at all. So I'm going to go ahead to remove the body completely. You just loosen the remaining 2 screws here in the front. I haven't come up with a great backing solution for this one. So what I'm running is the factory TRX4 bumper mounts cut down. I'll show you that here in just a second. Let's see. That's get this thing out of here. This is never this difficult, by the way. Just FYI. There we go. So you can see here, maybe you can see, I've got the factory bumper mounts just cut down, and these are the backs that slide in the chassis rail to make everything mount up properly. So at this point I can just slide off the LC70 body and grab anything that I dropped. Boom, boom. And you can see now we're left with the chassis. So I'm running factory TRX4 shocks in the front. I believe these are the super soft springs. Cantilevers in the rear, like I discussed earlier. Had to play with the spacers. The lining up of everything in here was quite the ordeal to get hooked up. I've got the Hobby Wing 1800 540 motor. Power button placed here. I'm running a FlySky GT5, so I've got the 6-channel receiver and the factory receiver box. I did some cutting on the factory fenders and everything just to get the battery location where I wanted it in the receiver. Running a little Savox servo in the front and a Reese Micro 99 micro server for a suck down winch. So I've got the chain hooked up here, and under pretty heavy crawling, when the top wants to lift, I can just suck it down, get a little bit more traction out of it. But yeah, I think that's about it. I got high clearance links, Treel weights, full portal setup rear and front with the C-hubs in the front. I went to the heavy ones in the front and added the, which one was it? I believe it was the inner portal housing here, and I think I'd put a little more weight on there than I would have liked to have. So I might possibly take a bit more off. I think we're running probably, sheesh, like 8-9 pounds at least on this thing with the hard body, no telling. But yeah, just running a little Reaction 2S 2000 milliamp hour. Thing crawls insanely slow. I can show you that real quick. Get the FlySky, turn it on. I'm running some cut down factory TRX4 inner fenders here, just to give it a little bit more of a scale look. But yeah, if anybody's seen the videos before, here's slow crawl on this. If I can get her going. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Model 1, bingo. Now we're set up. So that's slow crawl there. Barely any cogging. A good turn out of the front, and then it's got enough juice to go when you need it. When you need it to. So plenty enough for the hard body. Like it. This thing crawls like a beast. Can keep up with quite a few rigs, hard body or not, and I love this thing. It's probably my favorite build. But yeah, let me know if you have any more questions, and try and answer them the best I can. Thanks for watching.